Hello, everyone.
Hello.
All right. Um, we really, I guess, do you want to wait until folks start coming in, or you want to just start and people can watch on the replay?
Look at us watching.
Oh,
One
yeah,
person.
yeah. One viewer. Hello.
Hello.
I'm Danielle.
I'm Elton, and we are our family Exodus.
Yes.
See me talk about the intro and how it started.
Yeah.
Okay, so this project, this YouTube series, I thought about last year. Um, when we first visited San Miguel and moved abroad, first visited, we didn't move. We just met so many lovely couples, and that was I just loved it. I'm very inspired by different couples and that have traveled the world. This is new for me, Danielle, to really travel. I've only been to Canada and Mexico. Danielle has been to Mexico
I haven't really been.
and Mexico.
No, I haven't really been international that much. We'll get to that part. We'll get to that.
But that being that inspired me to really start this and just talk to different couples from different backgrounds, whether it's same sex or different sex couples. It was just inspiring to talk to all these different couples and hear their story. And so, in talking to them, people, me and Daniel have been married a very long time. We've been friends a very long time. So it inspired me to also say, hey, let's tell our story. Let's talk about our story. And then let's ask other couples to tell their story about living in love and being married, or whether it's a partnership. And then, the motorcycle was loud. And then living abroad. And so that's what inspired me to start this YouTube series, Living in Love Abroad.
Yeah, for sure. So just a little bit about us. If you're watching right now, you're on our YouTube channel. So this is our family Exodus. So we're just chronicling our life as a family. We moved to Mexico a year ago, last January. So we just made a year. I know we're super excited. So it's myself, Elton, our two children. We have a daughter who's 11, a son who's 6, and my mother. And we all moved here to San Miguel de Allende, Mexico. And it's been an adventure to say the least. So thank you for, joining us. And we're going to get started, telling our story.
Telling our love story.
Our love story.
Okay, so here we go. So,
wait, well, let me just give a disclaimer, okay? I'm going to let Elton start. And then I'm going to go and, hey, Britt. But I'm going to go, and these stories may vary, okay? So we have been together since 2002.
Mm-hmm. 2002, met in college.
So that's 21 years. So our story should be similar. We're just going to see how this goes. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so first off, I'm a hopeless romantic when it comes to marriage. And so me and Danielle's story is going to vary. She says one thing, I'm going to say something different, but it's very much on the same path. So they intersect at some point. Mm-hmm. But how do we met, who talked to who first, who asked who out, it varies.
Hey, Jen.
Hey, Jen. So me and Danielle met at Prairie View A&M University. So we were both from different states. So I was from Saginaw, Michigan. Shout out to Saginaw, Michigan. My hands going around there. Buena Vista High School, 2002, class of 02. Oh, I'm all 40. And then Danielle is from?
I am from Moreno Valley, California. So at Prairie View, they had a out-of-state summer registration for all of out-of-state students. So that is initially where we met for the very first time.
Yes.
So myself and my mother went so I could register for my classes. Elton went.
Yeah, my sister dropped me off.
Right. So he was there by himself, but we were all staying in the same dorm.
Yeah, we were staying in the same building, which ended up being the building I stayed in my freshman year, if I recall.
I don't remember.
So yes, so I seen this girl. If you know Danielle changes outfits like every hour, every 2 hours. She was just wearing different clothes. I was like, man, who's this girl? She was on a different outfit. Every time I see her, she got on something new. And so we didn't talk to each other initially at first. So something happened. I think it was a talent show.
Mm-hmm.
So it was a talent show. Danielle sung in, and you know how I wish I had a thing to edit like it here. So I see Danielle singing, and I was like, that Andre 3000 song came in my head. I hope that you're the one. If not, you are the prototype. And so when I seen her, I was like, oh man, she's gorgeous. And her voice, she can sing. So I was like, okay. So talent show ended. I went back to the building, and Danielle came in. And Danielle did not like me initially. And because I'm a jokester, I be roasting the heck out of people sometimes. And she did not like that. She was very upset at that.
Okay, so my part of the story. So I was there for registration. I found out that there was a talent show. The Kappas were putting on a talent show, and I entered the talent show. And I went and sang. I actually won the talent show. You left that out.
She did.
And
She won the
then
talent show.
when I came back to the dorm, Elton and like a couple like other people were like over in this corner, and they were just like, you know, you just see somebody and just know they're being messy, like what are they over there talking? Like just whispering, looking at people, pointing, laughing, like.
We people watching.
So I was like, I don't like that. So anyway, he had said something about me singing, and I had my CDs. So the song that I sang was actually a song that was written for my school class graduation. It was like the class of 2002 graduation.
It's called Understanding Change.
Right.
I had the CD for a long time. I don't know where it's at now. She didn't even have it. I had it though.
So I had the CD, and he said something, and I was like, well, I got a CD if you want to buy it. And he was like, nah. And I was like, okay. Okay. So after that, I was like, no, I'm off him. Ugh. Like, he was over there being messy, and he don't want to buy my CD. He want to talk about, oh, you can give it to me for free. And I was like, no, ain't nobody doing that.
Ain't nobody, look, we freshmen. I ain't even a freshman really yet. Ain't got no money.
Anyway, so fast forward. That was our introduction to each other.
That was our intro.
We start school at Prairie View as freshmen, and his dorm is literally right across
the street.
from
Like,
his building.
It's my dorm, a walkway, grass, another walkway, Danielle's dorm. I could see her. She could see me if we would stick our head out the windows.
Right. Yes, Brittany. I was a hustler. Like I was trying to get my coin. Like, you know, this was a test.
Danielle, look, we even now trying to get. We think about getting DJ equipment so we can make mixtapes. Like that's what Danielle did. She has some good mixtapes. I'm not gonna lie.
So we start Pantherland Camp, which is basically like the orientation for freshmen and everything like that. And there's so many activities on campus. We see each other, you know, in passing and everything like that. And then one of the events was
it was a party that night.
No, well, there was an event where we were like, people were coming up and singing and stuff.
Oh, the choir.
It was before the choir, though.
Really?
I'm talking about when I got hit in the head with that.
No, that wasn't that freshman year.
That was freshman year.
That was our freshman year. That was
See
our
how the
sophomore
stories
year.
vary?
That was our sophomore year.
See how
BET came to
that
our
was
school.
different. I'm not even talking about that.
That's when you got hit in the face. I
No,
will
it
call my
wasn't.
frat brother right now. He's the one who hit you in the face. He wasn't.
Courtney was a pal. It was orientation for Pantherland. I sang Amazing Grace, and he hit me in the head with a baseball
He said,
bat.
"Girl, you better sing!" And he threw his hat off, and he meant to throw it up, and he hit Danielle in the face.
Dead in the face while I had my eyes closed singing Amazing
It
Grace.
was so funny.
So we were going to join the choir. I was going to join the choir. Stories vary. I was going to join the choir.
I was going to join the choir too.
But he just wanted to be close to me, so we had walked over.
It's the variations here.
we had walked over to where the choir building was to see about signing up for the choir. And it was you. Was it just you or was it DeMarcus?
It was me, DeMarcus. Shout out to my god brother DeMarcus.
Yeah.
And the
and
other
my friend Danielle McDonald. And we were walking.
Shout out to Danielle McDonald.
Yes. So we were walking. They walked with us, and we walked back. And I was like, I think Elton likes you, girl, to my friend Danielle. And she was like, girl, no, he likes you. So that night there was a party, and I could not get a ride. There was limited cars in the freshman dorms. So I ended up having to walk. Elton didn't have a ride, and he ended up walking me to the upperclassmen buildings where this party was supposedly being held.
It was, so let me tell y'all, I believe in destiny. So Danielle's friends, they didn't have space in the car, and they left. My friends that I was going to go with, they also left. So me and Danielle was like walked out. She walking out of her dorm room. I'm walking out of my dorm building, her dorm building. And they're like, they left us. And we're like, you wanna walk together? And so we walked to phase 3. So it's a section in the back of Prairie View called phase 3. It's for, we call
honor
it the
students.
honor students. We call it the rich people dorms because you have to have a great GPA and it costs a little bit more, but they were great dorms. I couldn't stay there. My GPA was okay. Danielle stayed there after her freshman year.
Okay, so we go there.
There wasn't a
the party wasn't there, so we had to keep walking.
So now we go to the other part of Prairie View in the upperclassmen dorms, which people call the hood. It ain't hood, but they call it the hood. And we went there, and we walked. And so the whole time we're walking and talking, getting to know each other, we found the party, and we literally was at that party maybe 5-10 minutes. We walked in, and we was like, "You want to just keep walking and talking?"
Right.
It was like the party kind of whack.
Yeah, the party was really whack. So we ended up leaving and walking just around campus all night and talking. And yeah, we talked.
It was history. We talked until the sun came up all night. We walked and talked until the sun came up. We heard, it was so funny because we didn't know the band was like practicing. Like it's 3 in the morning. The band was practicing still. We're like, man, that's crazy. But we literally walked and talked until the sun came up and really got to know each other. And that's pretty much the history of...
It was like peas and carrots ever since then.
Yep. And so we kept talking. We became, really good friends. Of course, I liked her. Of course, she liked me. But nobody was like saying, will you be my girlfriend? Will you be my boyfriend? I had been in a relationship in Michigan. I had just got out of that relationship. So I was determined. I was like, I'm not going to come get in a relationship. There's a lot of women in Texas. But she fine. And you want to know something was crazy? She, like I said, she thought I liked Danielle McDonald. So I used to call her Danny. And to this day, I call Danielle Danny because Danielle McDonald is in my phone too. And Danielle, my wife. And so we just kind of, like I said, walk and talk. And we did that a lot of nights, actually. It wasn't just that night. We used to do that all the time, just sit and walk and talk. And it was so crazy because we didn't even realize the first time when the sun came up. It was like, man, it's 6 o'clock already?
Right.
And it didn't even seem like we weren't tired, but we went back to that dorm room. It was knocked out.
Facts. And that was like a Friday, so we didn't miss no class. That was also good. And so I think I was the person who initiated with Elton because I could see like he was like trying to hang out, but then also
from a previous
he wasn't hurt. He was trying to be out here in them streets and also be walking with me late at night.
This is tea.
So eventually I was like, I like you and I want you. Now we can do this the easy way or we can do this the hard way. And
I was very impressed by her aggressiveness. I wasn't.
I wouldn't call it aggressive, but I would call it assertive. And I was just saying, like, what's up? Basically, like, I don't just want to be your friend. I don't want you telling me about no other little girl that you like or whatever. Like, what we gonna do? So essentially, he made the right decision.
Yep.
Yes.
And we still together. But that's been what 21 years.
21
and we've been married 17?
Yes, we got
17.
married in 2006.
Yeah.
So right out of college. All right. So that is a little bit about our story. Of course, there's so much more in between,
Yeah.
and all of those things. But we've been married.
That's the beginning.
Yeah.
That was the catalyst. That sets the tone for. And we took, like, me and Danielle is my best friend. Danielle is my best friend. I'm her best friend.
Elton is my best friend.
And so that was the difference in our relationship. And we tell other couples that the same thing. Like there's been a difference. This is my buddy. It's my road dog. I can't say the N words. So I'm not gonna say it.
Come on. So I mean, we've been together for a very long time. We have traveled, but like Elton kind of stated earlier, we haven't really traveled as much internationally as we want to or as we will. And we've moved around a lot.
Yes. So
within the States.
We graduated from Prairie View in Texas. We moved to California. Stayed in California for a few years. Moved to San Antonio.
Yep.
Went from San Antonio to Houston. Went from Houston back to California.
Yep. To Los Angeles.
To LA. We stayed in California a little bit longer.
Yep.
Moved back to Houston. And I think that was.
We were there for
7 years. Yep. Moved to Houston, and now we moved to Mexico last year.
Yes.
And that's been our journey. People think we're in the military, but we're not.
Right. So, all right. When did we actually start talking about living abroad, moving abroad?
So when did we start talking about moving abroad? I think, so the initial is when me and Daniel used to own timeshare. We're not only to timeshare, but we went to Mexico.
Cabo.
We went to Cabo on our timeshare. And that timeshare was amazing. And we actually had our wedding renewal at that time, that same timeshare. But I think it was really, I think it was then we were like, man, it's going bad. It's pretty cool. It's nice. But we're in the touristy part. We getting all the tourist stuff. But we were looking at, because and we gotta lie, everywhere me and Danielle go, we look at like houses and real estate. We went to Hawaii one time. We was looking at houses. Everywhere we go, we look at, except we went to my hometown. You look at real estate there. I did, but
Okay, keep going.
So that was, and I forgot what year that was, because that was before our wedding renewal. So anyway, we went to visit Cabo, and we stayed for 2 weeks. No, I'm sorry. We stayed for 1 week. Was that the push gift? That was the second push?
No.
Okay. So we stayed for 1 week, and we loved it. So we started looking at different places. So we looked all over. We looked in Canada. We looked in Spain. We looked in Africa. Africa was like a top choice. We were very serious. We had looked at like the exchange rate, looked at land and stuff. My mother got sick and we moved, me and my sister. My mother stays with my sister in Houston. And so we were like, Africa is too far. She'll never see the kids because, it's a lot. So Mexico, when things started, and we're going to get into super political, when things started to get bad politically, we really started thinking hard about, okay, let's think about moving abroad. We got young kids. Noah wasn't in school yet. Camille was still young. And we're like, let's, just explore it. And so when we had our wedding renewal, that's when we were like, okay. And we went to Cabo again. We were like, okay, Mexico's real nice. So we started exploring different things on YouTube University about moving.
And I'll also put in before I believe Cabo, we were doing the cruises and stuff like that. We had taken a cruise to Cozumel and where else did we go? We took a cruise to
I don't know.
We went somewhere else. Went some other places. But yeah.
The cruise and the food.
So we were doing that type of thing, that type of traveling. And I feel like travel, regardless of
You went to Rosarito?
Yeah, I went to Ensenada on a cruise. I went to Rosarito.
But you didn't go on a cruise to Rosarito?
I did. Well, not to Rosarito, no. But we drove there from California. But there's just, I just recommend just traveling as couples, just see other places and just get the feel for them, because the world is so big, and there's so many other places that we want to go, as I mentioned before. But just going and just experiencing other places together is very important, because it allows you to kind of see your life in a different place. You know what I mean?
And we've learned a lot. It's made us kind of not let our hair down. We're still on guard, but kind of just relax and just enjoy life. You know, like even with our daughter, we just some things with her. We were like very tight on her, and I'm like, I'm too crucial. I'm too critical of my baby. Let me stop being like that. And even in marriage, like every day, it's not always gonna be perfect, but you just take it day by day. So that's some things we really just being here has really helped out. Somebody else come with a bowl. Okay, do they have a bubble?
I don't know if we just see that. I don't know if everybody sees this.
Good evening.
Hello, good evening. Yeah, I think that traveling and mostly living abroad, how Elson was talking about how we came with our guards up. I feel like for many people who move abroad, it's a detoxing and a real healing process, to really kind of open yourself up again, because I feel like we're so guarded in the States, and I feel like there's so much that we are just constantly doing. I feel like you're in a constant state of busyness, you're in a constant state of trying to like catch up, trying to reach these goals. And when you get to that point, I feel like, oh, well, thank you for the thumbs up. Yeah, I think that you're just constantly trying to obtain this goal, this American dream, that they're constantly moving the goalposts. Like you get to one point and then it moves more, and then it moves
that
more.
Finish line.
And it's very, very taxing. It's very stressful. I suffered from a lot of anxiety. During COVID especially, I was very, very, very anxious. And
she wants me to tell y'all.
I feel like
tell y'all a funny story.
No, wait. Let me finish, and then you can go. Okay, so when my daughter was born, I want to say maybe a couple months later was the Sandy Hook shooting, and that filled me with so much fear. Just looking at my daughter and just having that fear of you just don't know what's going to happen. And then from then on, all of these other things that continue to happen and are still happening, it's just very, very, very stressful. So I feel like us moving abroad has helped us to heal a lot of those traumas and heal a lot of that anxiety and the things that were just very, very pressing on us. I know that Elton has spoken about, being a Black man here in Mexico and how much more free he feels. I don't know if you want to talk about.
Yeah, it's just a feeling of, I'm not stressed. So my biggest fear for me, I remember being at work when, I think it was, who was with the loose cigarettes and they choked him to death in front of everybody?
Oh, Eric Garner.
Eric Garner. I remember being at work and I'm like the only Black person in my office and just crying after seeing his son say, like tear up now. I just wish my dad was here. And that fear for me, having a child, I didn't have a son at the time, was just something like, wow, this is a child and he didn't do anything wrong. He's just a father trying to hustle, and that's me. That's hustle and bustle, go to work every day, sitting this hour and 30-minute commute there and back, only get 2 or 3, maybe 4 hours with the family, but I'm spending really 9 to 10 hours at work. That's including the travel. And so those things, I was a gun carrier. So my fear of getting pulled over with a gun. I actually had a panic attack one time. I got pulled over and I was just on the tollway at the wrong time. And I had my gun and I just kept telling the officer, I got my gun in the car, I got my gun in the glove compartment, I got my gun in the glove compartment. And he was just like, calm down, you're okay. And I remember after, him letting me go, and he didn't give me a ticket or anything. He was like, yeah, you're okay. Just at this time, you can't get on. You got to wait like 30 minutes. And I pulled over and I just bawled out, cried, like Viola Davis cried, like snot in the nose. Just thinking about, I was like, oh my God, I don't want to be a hashtag. Yeah. And so I don't feel that here. at all. I don't have that anxiety. I don't have that worry. I wave at the police when I see them. Um, no one is. I'm an American. I'm not black. So, oh, this gringo is American, but they're not like, oh, you're a black man. We don't like you off top because you're a black man. And so that kind of anxiety has gone away.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like every person, I won't just say couples, because I know this is love and living and love abroad. But for just anyone, I feel like just taking a break to explore a different place, a different country, is so eye-opening because we're told so many things. Our number one question we get
Is it safe?
is it safe?
It's safer here than where I was at.
And I feel like that is the narrative for most brown countries, right? Africa, South America, Mexico, like I feel like we have this fear that's been instilled in us for these places, but when in all actuality, when you get there, it's not what you think. And I love the people in Mexico. People here are so welcoming and warm and lovely. And I'm not saying that there's a place that's devoid of violence or devoid of crime or whatever. Of course, there are things that happen, but on the scale of what you're looking at in the United States as a Black person in America, it's not, there's no comparison. Like, we're not walking around looking over our shoulders or, being scared somebody's going to come into the grocery store and, go postal or whatever. Like, there's so much to be gained
Now,
by
being black, I am super aware. That's just being from
well, that's
around
just
growing up.
instinctual. I don't think that'll ever go away where you're just not.
All the time.
I don't think
Just in case.
that will ever really ever go away. You have your instinct for a reason, but overall, I feel like this was a great move for us as a couple. Let's see. How do you feel that moving abroad has impacted our relationship?
Um, it has good and bad, I'm tell you. But I think overall it's been good. The simplicity of stuff have made us like our finances. We really like. We had a conversation with somebody last night. Go check out
Brown Girls Invest Too. Yes.
And we had a conversation with her about our finances. That's it. She kind of talks about finance. And after she left, and I gotta thank you, D, so much. After she left, I told Danielle, man, I have a master's degree, not to brag on myself. I have certifications. I felt so dumb and so stupid after that conversation. And not that she made me feel that way. It's just I just realized we weren't as good with finances as I thought. We make good money, but we just know how to not spend too much, but we don't have anything to fall back on. And that conversation really, for me, for us as a couple, like, okay, we got to have those real conversations.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so like that has really impacted our relationship, like learning to really talk to each other. You can't run nowhere. We had the house in Houston. I'm going to the other room. I want to talk to you. Here we like, yeah, so
We're gonna work this out.
you got to lay down next to me because we still remodeling the house. So let's talk it out. And it has made us more communicate. That was one of the good things. We've communicated a lot more with each other. We kind of talked that we didn't sometimes kind of run away from talking, or we'll talk and be like, but now it's like really we're talking a lot to each other. So that's really cool. What about you?
For me, I feel like, and you guys feel free to send us any questions in the comments. We can see them. But for me, I feel like how I talked about us healing from a lot of the traumas and the things that we were experiencing really allowed us to be able to connect in a different level, because I feel like we were very stressed in the States, like just all the time.
Like quality time.
Yeah, yes. We have a lot more time, so much more time. And it's so crazy because like we don't have a car here, right? For one, because there's public transportation, and it's
We
a
walk.
smaller town, so we're able to walk. So we're more fit, we're more active, we have more energy, and
Got more energy.
we have more energy to do things.
Libido.
And also, the community here is amazing. There's always things to do that aren't necessarily like super expensive things. So we're able to like kind of connect more and do more things. And I feel like moving here just kind of allowed us to kind of reinvent ourselves,
Yeah.
but do it together,
Yeah.
right? So,
And as a family.
yeah, I feel like all of us, even the kids, have kind of shed a lot of the layers that we had, that those boundaries, barriers that were up, and allowed us to kind of get more connected overall. We're having fun exploring this new place that we're in and finding new things to do, finding, fun things. We're meeting new friends. We have amazing community here in San Miguel, of people who are like-minded, who are, starting new businesses and new ventures and new artistic, things that they're
Yes.
doing. It's really amazing. And I really feel blessed to be able to be here and share this with my best friend.
What's your
With my
best
man,
friend?
my man.
So I got one for you. So what is one thing you've seen improve in the individual? So like one thing you've improved me and one thing I've improved you. Let me go first.
Sure.
Okay. So one thing I've seen improve with Danielle is Danielle she is a lover. She loves people. She's like me. I love people, but Danielle loves people, and she's genuine. And I've seen her with our circle of friends be able to show that love to them and to us as a family, to the kids. And her singing, I've seen her see the excitement in her eyes about singing again that I hadn't seen in a long time. And so I just really love that Danielle, I feel almost has been not guarded, but she's gonna give you a chance. No matter how bad of a person she is, she's gonna give you a chance.
Who's bad of a person
And-
I am?
No, they are. The person is. And she may get burned by that person and the person did it wrong, but she still is going to see the love and light in you. And now she have people that she see the love and light in, and it's genuine people. It's people here we've met that are genuine, and I love to see that with her. I'm so excited for her, and everything that she's doing in all her endeavors, and just the reignition of singing has been amazing for me to see. My freshman year when I seen her, I was like, oh my God, her voice. And she's always been singing, but now it's like she loves it again. I don't know if she had loved it because of so many things happening, but she loves it again.
Yeah.
So that's something I've seen.
Oh yeah, and I'll talk a little bit about that. Yeah, for me, with music, it definitely got.
a question.
I'm gonna talk about yours too. I feel like with music for me, I put it on the back burner for sure. There's just a lot going on in my life in the States. I had a business I was running, plus I was working, plus I was mom, plus I was, all plus. And I just felt like there just wasn't time for it. So I just suppressed those desires to do that. And now, I'm able to do that. And it's feeding that part of me that was, malnourished for so long. So I'm super excited about that. Now, for Elton, I feel like Elton is able to open himself up as well. And I feel like he is definitely more able to pursue the things that he likes to pursue and, open himself up to new relationships and friendships and things like that. And, just kind of get his ideas out and manifest it. Because he has a lot of ideas and
This
things.
is
This was one.
And I've been talking about this for a long time.
A long time, like for almost the whole year that we've been here, he's been talking about doing this and getting this off of the ground, and he's actually, like starting it and doing it. And I'm very excited for him in that aspect. And then, I just feel like he shed a lot of the kind of things that he had up, his anxieties and his fears and all of those things, and he's kind of being more vulnerable, and more communicative and open.
Is that a word?
It is a word. Communicative is a word. Thank you very
The
much.
dictionary hunt that one. I don't know. Not a Westford. I'm not a Westford. Say it wrong.
But if let's see, Crystal says it sounds so refreshing to be able to shed the armor that we as Black people have had to constantly carry. It is. It really is. And and I'll be, transparent in that, there are some people here who, come here with those old ideologies, that are from the States or, Canada, of their, thoughts and stereotypes about, Black people. There are some of those people here, but this is not their country. And they do not have any power here. Yeah. So it's so different, right? Privilege. Right. So you
don't just see that with, not just not just a certain type of people. You see that with people that look like us too, that feel like it's privilege. It's not. Right. It's different. You're in a different country. You're in their country. And you need to, I met a lady that owns a co-op spot that I know I talked to. And she was saying someone came in there and was like, "Why don't your people speak English?" And I was like, you in Mexico, they ain't got to speak. You need to learn Spanish. Things like that. It was like, oh my goodness.
Yeah, it's really, there's some people here, everywhere really, who, want to kind of bring that privileged places. But it's like, hey, it's part of our community is on here, guys. So hey guys, hey Monica, hey Alan and Eugene. Yeah, so it's like the biggest thing is that when you come to a place, and that's our recommendation, have that respect and have that, understanding that you are,
think about it like this. When you used to go to your grandma's house, and your grandma said, "You better sit your ass on that plastic." You're going to sit on that plastic because you're going to respect her house. It's her place.
Why is this your example?
Same thing.
Who hurt you?
Your place, respect these people.
Okay, yes. Show respect, and also show appreciation and immerse yourself into the culture, right? So like, we're learning Spanish. Our children are in school where they're learning Spanish. You know what I mean? Like, we're not trying to be in a little bubble where we are, devoid of the culture that is surrounding us. Like, what would be the point of that? You know what I mean? So I think it's so important to, show respect for the culture and the place that you live, and also, do what you can to, immerse yourself in it, immerse yourself in community, make friends. Like, all of those things are so important when you're going someplace that is new or living in a place that is new. Yeah.
So I got something else for you. How, for us, how have we made our relationship last so long in friendship? Oh, and at this point, I want to give a shout out to our sponsor, God's Grace and Mercy.
That part, you answered your own question. Like, I was like, oh, we got a sponsor. No. Yeah, prayer and supplication. Like, us being together, like, every relationship has its ups and downs. There have been times when I wanted to kick Elton in the throat. Not the throat with the R, but the throat with THOAT.
Basically, call me a thought.
No, we wouldn't be together if he was a thought. But no, like, we have our issues. We've had, like Elton mentioned, like finance and, employment, like all of those things. We have had all, you name it. Yeah. We've gone through it, but
adjusting with kids.
The adjustment with children and all of those things, and now our new living situation. All of those things are adjustments that we have to make. But I think just understanding and having friendship as our foundation, and having God as our foundation as well. Like, knowing that we have a place to go and turn to for wisdom, is so important for us. And also just knowing that we took our vows very seriously. We didn't enter, even though we were young, we got married at 22, but we were very much serious about the vows that we took. And, we held true to them.
Yeah, I feel me and Danielle, we stand on biblical principles, but we also go to the beat of our own drum as far as a marriage. There are no gender norms and all those type of things. Like I love cooking. I cook a lot. And I know sometimes people say, "Man, you cook so much. Your wife cook?" Yeah, she cooks too.
Yes,
but
I do.
love cooking. For me, cooking is therapeutic, and so I love cooking for my family. But I remember Danielle saying, she wants to be able to get up and cook for our kids. That was one of her things she wrote down in her plan is for a family. So those type of things, those gender norms, I'm like, I'm kicking them out the window.
I feel like to each his own, right? Because some people that works for them, but for us, our whole base was being friends and being a team and working together. So if I can't do something, he feels in. If he can't do something, I feel in. And we try to, just support one another as best we can and laugh. We laugh all the time.
Danielle couldn't stand that about me, but now it's my biggest favorite trait about me.
Hold on, let's clear the air. It's not that I could not stand Elton being a jokester. It was I couldn't stand him being messy because I knew he was being messy when I first met him. He was over in the corner talking about people, and I ain't like that.
I was roasting.
So there's a
difference.
No, it's not.
Okay.
So that's the difference. Is that we laugh now, but we not laughing the way he was laughing freshman year. We just laughing about jokes and just stupid, silly stuff.
Another thing I will say, me and Danielle very much communicate with each other. Like, we are big on communication. We be mad at each other. We'll try and still communicate. I'm very big on, if we mad, let's not talk to each other. That's because you be emotional when you mad. You be saying stuff like, your breath stink. Your breath don't really stink, but you just be mad at your mama. That's what Danielle said to somebody one time. They was talking about, never mind, we're not going to get into politics. They was talking about politics, and she told them, your mama, because she was emotional. So those type
I could have said something way better, but I couldn't think of anything, so that's what I said.
Yeah. So we communicate with each other. That's been, that we talking, how we started walking all night talking until the sun came up. That has been the base of our relationship from the beginning. So I would say definitely communicate. We're friends, I tell people. So when you're your friend, you're vulnerable with your friend. Sometimes you're not vulnerable with your spouse, but with your friends, you're vulnerable. And we have had a strong friendship before we had our relationship that was intimate. Mm-hmm. And so that has been great for us as far as communication. We talk about everything. We text. I'll be sending a little freaky text, love text, everything. I just send, hey, you want to see that?
All right.
No, I'm talking about memes.
Okay.
I'll be sending funny memes. That's what we do. We communicate to each other. I wasn't going to get nasty.
You never know. All right.
Nasty Nate.
Don't know with this one. So if you guys have any questions about anything that we talked about tonight, if you have any questions about moving abroad, living abroad, how we're adjusting, here in Mexico.
More of our love story, because that's really what
this is about, any of those
and marriage stuff. Feel free to talk to us.
Put it in the comments.
We're that type of couple too that we believe in transparency, and we're not here to judge. I think a lot of times, we've built a strong community here, and community I had back home too. But there's no judgment. A lot of times you feel so judged, like, oh, I'm struggling, me and my wife struggling financially, sexually, relationship-wise, talking, because you feel so judged by another couple. And we're not like that. Everything we've been through,
that's something else.
Yeah, everything we've been through, it's just kind of we're transparent and we want to help other people. We're genuine about that. Like I said, I love marriage. I love relationships. I wish everybody could be married. But sometimes it don't happen like that.
And that ain't for everybody. Also,
Paul didn't, Paul was like, hey,
and we do
not
have
for everybody.
a question. Hold on, let me see. Starting a comment. There we go.
I see.
Okay.
So how have the kids adjusted to the move? They at first they didn't like it, but now they've really adjusted because they're in school and they have friends and they're doing things. But they didn't like it at first.
They didn't.
Yeah, and it was just because you meet. I remember we went to a water park with some friends we know, and it was some other friends, some friends of friends were there too. And the little girl was speaking Spanish to Camille, and Camille was like, "What? Huh?" And she was so like standoffish. But the little girl was asking Camille to play. Do you want to go play? But Camille didn't know what she was saying. Now we fast forward. Camille has a friend at school that she just did a play date with for the whole day a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, it's like last week.
Last week, yeah, and we don't have anxiety about it. Now we're not to the point where we're like, you gonna spend the night. But she can stay over there the whole day. We don't care.
Yeah, no, I think the kids have adjusted well. I think more so it was the comforts of home that they missed. Like our 6-year-old was always talking about Red Robin of all things. Like
he was Red Robin macaroni and cheese on Red Robin burger. Red Robin is delicious.
He was tripping over some Red Robin Kraft mac and cheese.
Chick-fil-A.
But it was a taste of home for him, and he missed it. So that was his thing. So they don't have Red Robin here. They don't have Chick-fil-A. Just those, little random things.
And he want to go to things like, are we going to main event? Are we going to, and those things are here, just not in our town. Mm-hmm. Our town has like smaller things, like it's a trampoline park here, it's a little arcade, it's a movie.
Right.
It's a big park we take them to. It's the water park.
Right.
Now it's a bigger city that got like a Chuck E. Cheese, that got like a whole indoor inflatable place.
Yeah.
So it was those things they missed.
Yeah, but it's an adjustment period, I think, for all of us. So with them being in school now, because my daughter was doing remote school prior from COVID on until we moved. Mm-hmm. So her being able to be in school with kids is a big deal. And she's loving it. And she's having a great time.
She was very social. And then because of COVID, her social meter went down.
Right.
And now she's back to that. She loves being out, being in things. She's in a theater club.
Yeah, she's in musical theater. There's so many things that she's active in doing. And there's so many things for kids here. There's so many events. I wouldn't be scared about your 2-year-old. Yeah. Like that's a great age.
There's actually like a mom kids club that.
There's a whole like homeschool / mom group where they meet up with their littles. There's all kinds of little classes that they have, like I think I just saw one for, what was it? Was it Taekwondo for toddlers or something like that? There's all kinds of stuff for arts, music, just activities. You have a super active kid, lots of parks, lots of things.
It's the expat family here that we met, and they do like the metal sculpting.
Oh yeah, and the pottery. They have pottery class for kids. There's all kinds of things. Like I feel like if you keep kids busy, if they have something to do, if they have activities, they'll be fine. And to have a child so young, like they'll pick up Spanish like quicker. Yeah. They'll be able to absorb it, and I feel like it's the perfect time.
Before school. Yeah. That's why that was one of the big reasons we were like, let's do it before, because Noah started kindergarten here, and we was like, oh, that's perfect. Because the mindset is different too for education. Education is important, but it's not.
They're also focused on the child's emotional well-being. They're
like Camille's school. I think the founder of the school is a
child psychologist.
So emotional intelligence is very important to her, and that's a good thing for us. We're big on that too, especially for the kids.
Yeah. So
I was thinking, what other questions you got? What other questions you wrote down for us? Let's see what you got.
I think we talked about them all.
Is it dating?
No, we already talked about dating.
Did we know?
I think we did. And that's okay to be 48 minutes in and be done. It's okay. If you have any comments or questions, feel free to put them in. And be sure, if you guys haven't already, we have more interviews that we'll be doing with other couples to just, kind of get an idea of their story, because everybody's story is different. There have been some people who come and move abroad and end up figuring out that, it wasn't right. And or figuring out that they weren't right for each other. You know, that maybe one person wanted to move abroad and had, you know, these goals, but the other person didn't. You know, so
Oh, I was coming.
yeah,
I was going to Kentucky. I was going to a fair to get a señorita with roses in her hair. Shake it, baby, shake it.
But y'all pray for me. And but yeah, just stay tuned. We look forward to hearing from other couples and from all around, not just Mexico too, because we know some people who live in the other countries as well. So make sure that you like, subscribe to our channel. And if you have any questions, you can feel free to put them in the comments, even if you're watching on the replay, and we will get back to y'all. And thank y'all so much for joining us tonight.
Yes, on our first of many Living in Love Abroad. Thank you guys. I really appreciate it.
All right.
Bye. Love you, fam.
Bye.